Hey, good morning to everybody. We're so glad to have you with us today. Um, we're pretty excited to be presenting to you in partnership with Epson two brand new wide format printers, along with quite a few of the details about what makes these new additions so special. Hi, I'm Jim Davis, by the way, with Imaging Spectrum. And today's session will last probably around 30 minutes, I would say, but we will certainly allow for longer than that to address any questions, concerns, or observations you may have. And then also wanted you to know that we're recording live the entire session and we'll post it on YouTube afterwards so that if any of you had a need to go back and review what we had gone through, it will be there at some point after the session today. So with that, I'm going to pass it over to Matt for some quick housekeeping items and team introductions. And with that, here it is, Matt.
Okay, thank you, Jim. I am Matt McCormick. I'm the manager over the large format inkjet division here at Imaging Spectrum. And like Jim said, we are very excited today to introduce a new printer from Epson called the SureColor P7370 and the SureColor P9370. And as maybe y'all know, most out there, Epson is always they're always thinking ahead. They're always, improving their technology over the years on these printers. Their printhead is one of the best in as far as these printer segments go. So they're always trying to improve their printers as we to get the latest technology and the best product out there. So today we're excited to introduce this printer. It is definitely in our wheelhouse what we do over here at Imaging Spectrum as far as photography, fine art, posters, you name it. So wanted to give you a little introduction. You met Jim and you know me. And so with us on the call, we have Morgan Lynn from Epson. He's our sales rep and welcome Morgan. And then we're very excited to have Aaron Brill, who is the product manager of the P series and D series for that matter, too, the dry lab as well. But he's over there in at Epson corporate headquarters or the mothership in Long Beach right now in front of one of these new printers. Looks like the P7370 he's got there. So he's going to be telling you everything about this printer, everything you need to know, all the ins and outs of it. For those on the call who maybe have an older printer like a 9800 or 9890 or maybe a P8000 or P6000, this is definitely going to be your upgrade. And so this is definitely the one for you. Before we get into Aaron, like Jim said, we are fielding questions, Q&A during the segment, so feel free to ask your questions during the segment. We'll answer them as we go along, and at the end, we'll have a Q&A session that we can open up to the floor and answer all your questions as well. So we do thank you for being here for sure. And without further ado, Aaron, take it away.
Awesome. Matt, Jim, thanks for the introduction. Good morning, good afternoon, everyone. So as the team alluded, we're very excited to present to you guys two new products that are soon to start shipping around the July timeframe. And it's the SureColor P7370 and SureColor P9370. We have a brief presentation that'll go into the high-level details of the product, but just know in the coming months, as we get closer to that customer ship date, there'll be more materials circulating, more marketing pieces, so definitely reference those as they come out. So I'll go to my deck, we'll begin here, and like Matt said at the end, we'll answer questions throughout the webinar, but if there's any remaining at the end, we'll take a look at it as a team here. All right, so some copy here for you all to read, but let me give you some brief history of why we're launching these two products in the SureColor P73 and P9370. So very popular product in the market, our previous generation, the P6000 through P8000 lineup. 9-color machine, 24-inch, 44-inch configurations. Favorites for our customers, and unfortunately, over almost a year ago now, we had to end of life that line. While we had our flagship product, the P75-9570 in our lineup, customers were looking for that direct replacement of the P6000 through 8000. They wanted something that didn't need all of the color, and also maybe more of a entry price point, lower price point to be more accessible to them. Took some time, but we listened to the feedback of our customers here, and we're introducing this platform, which is the true successor to the P6000 through P8000 line. We'll go into some details in a second, but we'll go to the next slide here. Okay, so I think price point may be cut off there with my name tag, but here are the two configurations we announced back in April, shipping in July. The SureColor P7370 and the SureColor P9370. All of the internals are the same, so all of the benefits I'm going to speak to in a few seconds here are consistent across the board. Only difference is that maximum print width. And price point at MSRP, it's $3,895 for the 24-inch version and $5,795 for the 44-inch. So again, this price point is more comparable to our previous generation product. It puts it a bit under our flagship product in the 75/95/70. And I'll also talk about some details on what our portfolio looks like, how to understand what product to buy, and so forth in a second here. And here's a key message for everyone on the call today as we go through the details and features again. Just know that this is an all-around upgrade when you're coming from that P6000 through 8000 lineup. Wider color gamut, faster speeds, better media handling, improved usability. There is no step back when looking at this product. So if you're coming from that previous generation, you're looking to upgrade, you're fresh, just looking to enter the pro photography printing space, consider this platform and imaging spectrum. The team here can definitely help you out. Okay, so with the introduction of these two new SKUs, our pro photo portfolio from us at the pro imaging team at Epson, very complete, very robust. We have you covered from 8-inch wide prints, 4-inch wide prints, up to even 64-inch enlargements. Many different configurations for features and functionality, dual roll, different ink sets, but just know that we have a very complete portfolio now for all sizes for pro photography and fine art applications. Today, we're focusing on the two products in the red box, but I will be briefly talking about the products above it, which is our flagship in the P7570, 9570. The differences, because there are some, but not too many when you compare the two products categories here. Okay, so we'll go to the camera over here. I just want to walk you through briefly some of the features at a high level before we dive into the slides again of some of the functionalities of the printer. So we can change my camera angle. Thank you. Okay, so as you can all probably see, if you're familiar with our other products, the chassis looks very similar to our P75/95/70 because it is. It's the same engine with some different internal differences. But to highlight for you all on the call today, some of the new benefits when you're looking at this platform compared to our other products is this is primarily a roll-fed printer, and now it's fully enclosed to prevent dust and debris from getting in. So huge upgrade there. It's also an angled paper feed path, which is very important for some customers, meaning that everything can pretty much be accessed from the front. You can push it up against the wall and still feed all of your media, or whether it's roll or poster sheet from the top without having anything in your way. And then moving on here, the ink bays now are not pressurized anymore. So you can easily just open them up without having to press a button to open up the bays. And then the biggest difference that we'll cover in a second here is this is a 10-color printer, which is something different than our existing products today. And then some other minor upgrades here are that it has an LCD panel, which we'll cover in a second. And then also, this is the crowd favorite down here. We can go to the wide angle. Light. So light, built-in light, so you can see your prints come off your printer if needed. We introduced this a few generations ago, and it's been a fan favorite for our customers since then. So we'll go back into my presentation to cover some of the other details here. All right, so this is a very, very important slide, and you'll see a lot more education material from us at Epson in the coming months as we launch this new platform. So how is this product positioned within our current lineup? Like I mentioned, The chassis is the same as our existing product, but really the differences come internally with the ink set. So how we're classifying our products in our whole portfolio now are by ink sets. So starting from the left, looking at the Pro 6, which is our P65, P8570 series, we're calling that fulfillment photo quality. So still excellent image quality, 6-color ink set. A lot of those configurations have a lot of productivity features. So you have a dual roll option. All the media there is auto switching, auto loading. It's designed for fulfillment houses that want high quality prints, but may lean more towards those productivity features to get more prints out the door. And then jumping to the right side of your screen, this is what we call the ultimate image quality from us, which is our Pro 12 12-color ink set. So that's found in the sibling of the product we're focusing on today, the SureColor P7370 9570, as well as our 64-inch platform, the SureColor P20570. That 12-color ink set is the best of the best what we have to offer from Epson. Those products aren't going anywhere. If you need that extended color gamut, the widest we offer, any proofing applications or solutions, these platforms with the 12-color ink set should be of top of mind when considering an Epson printing solution here. But focusing on the middle section now, what we're talking about today in our Pro 10 ink set, it's what we're calling exhibition quality prints. So absolutely no slouch compared to the 12-color ink set. The only primary difference is that instead of having 12, it's 10, and it omits the orange and green ink. So still delivers amazing image quality, but if you don't need that extended color gamut, which a lot of pro photographers and who we're speaking to on this product don't need, and you're trying to save a bit of money, this may be of top of consideration when looking at a printing solution from us. So to be clear, all of these printers here, as you'll see in a minute, the printhead technology is consistent. It's our precision core micro piezo printhead, same latest generation design with a 2.6-inch tall printhead. It's just really the ink channel configuration. So when we talk about worse quality, not necessarily, it's really more color. One's not better than the other. We're just adding this printer again to replace that old generation product in the P6000, 8000 series, fill in that gap and present you all, our customers, options of what you need. So again, if you don't need that extended color gamut, you don't need it for your business, your work, consider this platform. It's absolutely great. Okay, so target markets, really for this lineup of product is whoever needs a professional photographic print made, designed for photographic, fine art, and graphic design applications. So a lot of individual photographers, pro photographers who want to print their work, photo labs who need larger enlargement prints up to 64-inch wide we support. We're also in photo retail today due to our leading image quality and print permanence ratings. And like I mentioned, graphic design is also a market for us that we hope we actually address with this product line. Because when we end of life that old generation P6000 through P8000 lineup, the graphic design community definitely liked that product at that price point. They didn't need the extended color gamut necessarily and the higher priced P75 9570. So hopefully we fit the bill here when we introduce this one here. And then POP graphics, also mentioned photo retail. The core thing just to bring home here is whoever needs a pro photographic quality print should definitely consider Epson Solutions to output their work. Okay, so going into the core of what all of our printers that we partner with Imaging Spectrum to sell to you all, the core of it is our printhead technology, which is precision core, in this case, the micro TFP printhead. So it is our latest generation printhead, and when looking at us compared to the competitors, a lot of benefits here. We're a heat-free printhead technology. Printhead's meant to last the lifetime of the printer. Not using heat technology compared to other manufacturers means that we can control consistency over time for your prints. So a big concern, especially as a photographer, artist, is the blues I print today. If I print the same job a year from now, 14 months from now, I want it to look the same. Heat printhead technology can have variability over time. Us eliminating that with our piezo heat-free technology is a huge benefit for the photographer or whoever's doing this kind of work. consistency, and also our variable droplet sizing, so we can do very fine print line accuracy is a huge benefit when looking at our printhead technology. So just know that this is a channel printhead, but it's also identical to our flagship P7570 product. The only difference is the emission of 2 channels. So again, we're going from a 12 color to a 10 with this product. Okay, so a lot of benefits here, but the one I really want to focus on is that second bullet here, which is honestly one of the largest updates to this platform if you're coming from our previous generation product. It has dedicated matte and photo black channels. So this printer does feature a 3-level black ink system that we'll cover in a second, but it has a dedicated matte and photo black depending on what media type you're using. Our old generation product, it didn't have a dedicated channel, meaning that if I went from a luster print over to a matte media, fine art media, I'd unload the printer, load in the different roll. I'd actually have to indicate on the printer there's an ink swap going on. So it would switch from the photo black ink over to the matte black with a touch of a button, which led to downtime, ink consumption. It was honestly one of the highest pain points for a lot of our customers and with our legacy products. We've been phasing that out, and these two P7370 products are not an exception. There's dedicated matte and photo black channels, meaning no switching. So if I have a photo media loaded, I'm printing away on glossy media, luster media, and then I switch to a matte paper, drop it on the printer. There's no downtime, no clicking. Through the printer driver, I can output a matte print just like that. That dedicated channel is huge, and definitely look at this if you're upgrading from our previous generation product, because this is a huge benefit. And like I mentioned, some of the other categories we sell for the desktop products, we also started phasing that out. It's one of the top key selling features from customers coming from our old generation. And then there's also nozzle verification technology. So our piezo printhead can detect missing nozzles, so you can catch it before outputting a print that has a missing cyan, for example. Lots of benefits. Just know that it's heat-free, very durable, a high industrial level reliability, because this printhead technology is consistent and found throughout our whole product portfolio, not just our photographic products, but also our industrial signage, larger machines. So great droplet, great accuracy is what you'll find with this printhead. Okay, so here's a fun graphic showing you how much faster this engine is compared to that previous generation. So in some modes, you're up to 2.5 times faster. And the key takeaway here, I won't read out the numbers for you all, but the key takeaway is, again, there's no step back if you're looking to upgrade or if you're considering this engine. You're getting faster speeds, better handling, wider color gamut, which we'll cover in a second in this platform. So large upgrade when coming from that previous generation product. Okay, so here's the largest change under the hood when we're talking about this printer. These two printers. It's the Ultrachrome Pro 10 ink set, 10 color, including violet. It's a proven ink set. We have it in some of our A2, A3 products. Wide color gamut, not as wide as the P7570 with the Pro 12. But the big update here, compared to the previous generation, is in the inclusion of violet ink. So violet, people have a misconception that that's for violets, purples. The big improvement here is definitely in the blue hues. So if you're doing any sky, you have photography with skies, waters, or even some shadows, the violet ink definitely helps with those details. So moving forward, most of our ink sets from the Pro Photo space will include a violet ink. Mentioned the dedicated matte black and photo black, but this also still features our 3-level black ink system. As you can see, the gray, light gray, and the black, which leads us to allow for our advanced black and white mode in the printer driver, where we have some of the best black and white neutral prints on the market through this mode and this ink set. So again, Pro 10 color ink set. It's an upgrade compared to that 6,000 through 8,000, so you're not going to see any downside if you're looking at this platform. Okay, so alluded to the advanced black and white print mode, but another print mode that's found in this generation of product is our black enhanced overcoat mode, which is software driver controlled. And how this works is you can kind of see it in the top right, but in the driver, there is a checkbox that you can enable this mode. And what it does, the final application, right, is more of a wet, vibrant, black-looking print. We equate it kind of to an older Cibachrome-looking print where it's wet and shiny. What it does is when it's enabled, it takes a lot of software interpolation goes through when the driver is selected, but it'll take your file and lay light gray ink into sections, as you can see in the middle of the screen. PowerPoint doesn't do it justice here, but with that additional light gray ink layer, it makes your blacks pop a bit, makes it a bit more shimmery. And it's something very interesting we introduced to the market almost 3 generations ago now. It's also included in this product. When we initially announced it several years ago, our engineers told us the main benefit of using this mode was for those glossier photographic medias, so you can give a shimmery, perceived deeper DMAX look to your print. But over time, the feedback from our photographer customers is that, interestingly enough, when you enable this on some of our fine art matte medias, the shadow detail is improved. So we're looking to qualify that and communicate it better to you all in this launch. But look out on that, some materials from us in the future talking through this mode. Not a requirement to use. Again, you can enable it and disable it at will in the driver. Just know that it's a cool feature that may be interesting for your work or your business. Okay, so we talked through this briefly, but here's a close-up of what the touch screen looks like. So we're moving away from those physical buttons to a full touch screen interface. And this just gives you a lot more information and data up front. You don't need to be tethered to your computer to access these details or these maintenance features. So clearly from the front, I can see maintenance levels, ink levels, changing my media out. And through the settings, you can actually go in and do network settings, maintenance settings. There's a lot of control at your fingertips, and you can clearly see it now on this 4.3-inch touchscreen panel. We view it as a huge improvement compared to the previous generation, and our customers have been saying so as well as we've been phasing this in. Okay, so this is a huge improvement that we actually copied from some of our more industrial signage products from years ago. So the P7370, P9370 has the ability for user accessible maintenance. So a scenario I'll give you for some of our legacy products, knock on wood, but if and when something happened to your printhead that wasn't recoverable through a nozzle cleaning, typically you would call your reseller in the imaging spectrum or call Epson support to try to troubleshoot this. If they can't troubleshoot over the phone, it's typically a technician visit, which leads to downtime, potentially wasted business if you can't resolve your printhead. Sometimes it was something as minor as some dust, some ink blotching on the printhead corner or on the platen. The old generation products did not have the ability to access this without an Epson technician visit. But on this generation of product, we're improving that, giving you the ability to have a removable door from the back to access your printhead, clean around the edges, catch anything, and do routine maintenance if necessary. So this is a huge improvement compared to that previous generation. So you're not reliant on us or Epson service to help maintain your printhead. So ahead of the curve, if you want to do routine maintenance around the capping station, around the printhead, you have the ability now with no added cost or intervention from Epson. Going into media support, it's pretty standard from us from our large format printers, but you're really just limited by the maximum width of the printer. So the SureColor P7370 is a 24-inch wide printer, and the P9370 is a 44-inch width. So you play within that range, but a huge benefit when you're looking at Epson printing technology is our borderless support. So how we do that is we print full bleed on the left to right side. The printhead crosses over the media, prints over the edge into our borderless pads, so you get a full bleed print on the sides. And on the top and bottom, our printers have a X-axis auto cutter that cuts the top and bottom. So for a lot of popular sizes, you can print full borderless if you'd like. Very unique. You don't need any additional finishing, cutting tools required that some other manufacturers may require. And that auto cutting ability is supported by all of our medias, whether you're looking at our photographic or fine art for those thicker types, if you're wondering. Okay, so for media support, the printer, as mentioned, is primarily a roll-fed machine, but you do have the ability to feed single sheets from the top if you want for some of the thicker fine art medias, again, up to those maximum print widths. But with that being said, talking about our maximum spec that you can print on, it's 1.5 millimeters in thickness. And that's actually we have a branded solution, if we want to go to the camera here, a rigid poster board. So these printers can actually print onto substrate this thick. This is very, very rigid. This is our Epson enhanced matte poster board material. Feeds in through the top here. And while it's not necessarily a photographic application, you can still do great prints on this for temporary signage, posters, or even photos. Very unique to Epson. We don't have any additional add-ons or accessories required for this. You can print directly onto the board. It's dry. This is aqueous receptive, and you're good to go. So just know that very unique for our platform here. You can print onto this, as well as it is our maximum spec when you're looking at sheet media from us at 1.5 millimeters thick. And that graphic clearly shows how the angled paper feed path adds a benefit of being able to be pressed up against the wall and being able to load that media very easily. Going into media support. So when looking at Epson, one of the key benefits when considering our technology is we provide you, the customer, a complete solution. So our printhead, our print engine, our printhead works together with our ink, as well as our media that we have as a branded option. Everything is profiled, tested locally in our California facility to make sure everything is optimized together so we can control quality and consistency for you all. We have a slew of different medias under the sun, ranging from our professional media, which covers a lot of the luster gloss medias, all the way up to our legacy paper line, which is a nod to some old style European paper making, handmade materials, different thicknesses, finishes. We have you covered. Just know that the P7370, 9370 support all of these medias as they have been for other P series products. This is something that's newer from us, but very important when looking at running any P series product in the coming time, any future launches as well. We have this free software tool that is packaged in with our driver, so there's no charge here. It's called Epson Media Installer, and it's a requirement to run properly our printers. So this tool allows you to push media settings from your computer to your printer. So if, let's say, we launch a new media, have an update to a profile, you would open this tool, download those settings, push it to your printer so it has a handshake, so your printer and computer have the same settings. It's just that easy. In the past, the printer had the ability to adjust media settings from the printer panel itself. It's still available, but our definite recommendation for the coming products in this one is to please use this tool as it has the most seamless experience here. And then also talking about, this question comes up as well for third-party media support and controlling those media's parameters, it would be done through this tool as well. So packaged with the driver, supporting Windows and Mac OS. And this isn't exclusive to the P7370, P9370, everyone. It's all of our current products, active products use this software. And touching again briefly on software solutions, this is another free tool, no cost involved here with our Epson Cloud Solution port. So this is a cloud-based tool, so access it from your driver, from your mobile browser on your phone, browser on your computer, and we also have phone and watch apps. But this tool is very powerful because it gives you a cloud-based fleet management tool. So whether you have one printer on the network or multiple, you can clearly see status levels, ink levels, maintenance errors, if there are any. But the most interesting one for photographic customers is our costing tool. So at a per job level, you can actually see how much ink and media you're consuming on a job basis. This is very interesting to understand how to price a print, or if you're a production house printing high volume, understanding reordering patterns. So very great. You buy the printer, ink, media from Imaging Spectrum, you drop in your costs, you can see at a job level how much the print is costing you. Because we get a question of how much does this print cost me to make. This gives you the most transparent data without any subscription or fees involved to see. Okay, wrapping up here. Our warranty and customer support is pretty standard from us. In the box, you get a 1-year standard warranty plan. Next day on site if needed. It also covers you for phone support. And we do have additional purchasable SKUs to extend this to up to 5 years of continuous coverage. So great value in here, especially if you intend on using your printer for a long time. Cover the printer, cover your engine with extending your coverage. And then I think the best example was behind me, because that was our very first product in the US showcasing the P7370 printer. But here's some examples in photo retail as well as a photo lab of how it could fit into your space. So again, if you're familiar with our other products, the design language is very similar with that angled paper feed path, and then the P7590-570 have the same chassis, but it fits in the spaces very well, and the angled paper feed path definitely gives you space so you don't have to have clearance behind the wall for feeding media and so forth. Okay, a lot of information here, but to take us home, just to summarize everything, appreciate everyone's time. Let me talk us through the P7390-370 introduction that we are shipping in July. And the key message again is this is a complete step up from our previous generation product, wider color gamut, faster speeds, so you're able to print faster, have a higher quality color gamut with no downside. It's priced comparably or closer to where our last generation product was, so more accessible hopefully for a customer that doesn't need that extended color gamut. And it's a proven print engine. So a huge benefit of when our engineers designed this product was, since it had kind of the bones built on the P7590-570, which has been in the market for many years now, engine's proven, there's reliability, it's there. So if you're considering this solution, it's a great investment, great choice if you're in the photographic fine art or graphic design space. Okay, with that concluded what I had to share for my deck. And I think you guys have been answering questions in the Q&A, but anything else up that I can't quite see that far? I'll walk closer.
No, I think a question for you that came in, and you guys can take a look at some of the questions, but another question, when you open the machine, they saw the ink cartridges. There were some big cartridges and some small cartridges.
Yes.
So can you mix and match the cartridges?
Yep. So like all of our SureColor P series large standing printers, we have multiple ink sizes, 3 different SKUs. So we have our smaller sizes, which are 150 milliliters, 350, as well as our large capacity 700 milliliters. They are mix and match. So you can kind of see, as that viewer probably saw, there are different sizes loaded here. This one right here is our 700 milliliter cartridge, and the other ones are our 150. So typically, I won't say it's consistent, but as a photography photo printer, you can kind of determine which inks are more in use over time, especially if you're primarily doing one type of media. So a lot of customers like to stock up larger sizes for the inks that are depleting faster. So with the option of mix and matching, you can save some money and really invest into inks you're actually using and have the smaller capacities if wanted for inks that are not being utilized as much. And this is a great example right here, as you caught there.
Perfect. Thanks,
Okay,
Aaron.
thanks, Aaron. I think, yeah, we're going to open up to a quick Q&A to some folks out. It looked like we had a few attend a little later. and maybe they didn't catch some things at the beginning. But yeah, if anybody out there has any Q&A, this is time to get us your questions. We can answer them real quick on the fly.
I'll answer this one right here about questions on software. So
Yeah.
I see the call out for Caldera, Onyx. Are they required? So not necessarily. It really depends on your work and your business. So from all Epson products, we have a branded printer driver that's free to download from our webpage, Mac or Windows. And this gives you all the control you need to send a print. A lot of our customers in this space that aren't doing high volumes are not using a RIP software. They're actually just using Photoshop. And then we also have another free offering called Epson Print Layout, which is another free to download tool that allows you to print photos almost immediately after you install your ink into your printer. So why would you need a RIP? It really depends on your needs. Let's say you're a production facility doing high volume batch jobs. A lot of those paid third-party RIPs give you more control over production as well as color. It really varies because there's a lot of RIPs out there. But if you're looking to just enter into the photo space, you're just sending a few prints here or there, you're not doing any significant volume, you're a one-man band, you can get away with not needing a RIP. But with that being said, we have customers that are a single person shop or business that do utilize a RIP. It's more of what you prefer. But I would definitely not say it's a requirement when you're looking to consider one of our solutions here. You're able to print great prints with all of our free software we offer through our driver and our Epson Print Layout tool.
Okay. And see, there's another question, printer software with image print black. I don't know that answer right off the bat. I know Image Print is a real good RIP software that a lot of high-end artists use. I would almost think if Image Print works with the P9570 and 7570, I would think it will work with this printer, but sometimes it's up to the RIP to the RIP manufacturer to get that aligned up. Is that correct?
Yeah, so timing wise, right? We're shipping the product July, as I mentioned a few times, but we're ensuring all major software vendors that utilize our printers have support out of the gate from us. Image Print and some of the other ones, we'll consider them if the demand is there. That's a job between us as the manufacturer and the software vendor to work out. I'm not sure if that'll be ready at launch, but something we'll definitely look at if there's demand.
Another question, proven publications with Pantone's high resolution PDF. This would be possible with the Epson printer driver.
So it's possible, but a lot for those proofing applications, which we didn't cover today, our technology is definitely utilized to cover that. Our SureColor P7590, 570, kind of sidestepping your question for a second. Our Pro 12 color ink set is definitely the proofer's choice when we're looking at those solutions. With all of our products here, we do have a accessory, which is an inline spectroproofer, do inline chart readings, color management, so forth, that can support you. For that kind of work, though, you may require additional software, depending on what you're looking to do. But for on the technology side, you can actually absolutely be covered when looking at this kind of solution for that kind of work.
That might be where it kind of draws the line where that orange and green comes to play with the like 7570, 9570, because that will kind of reach you a little closer to Pantone matching. Is that correct?
Yeah, so absolutely. That's our widest color gamut, and it's actually industry leading for 99% coverage of the Pantone standard swatch library for the P7590, 570. So that's why we recommend that solution, and it's not going anywhere. It's still our flagship product. To be transparent with everyone on the call, again, this image quality color is no slouch. It's still excellent. Roughly for some, internal details, we're over low mid 90s of this color gamut when compared to the 7590, 570. But with that additional orange and green, as Matt said, that really pushes you to the limit, especially if you're doing any kind of color work or color accuracy work.
Yeah, exactly. So a lot of things, that you touched on. If there's any more questions, we got Jim, how are we doing on time? I think we're okay, but yeah,
we're okay for now.
Yeah, the main things, especially if you own a 7890 or 7800 or even a P7000, P6000 or 9000, 8000, the main things that Aaron touched on is just the speed of this printer for one thing, the advanced technology as far as the touchscreen goes and the bigger print head. But uh, the capability of it, to clean the print head. So there's a lot of good things about this printer. And so if y'all have got a older printer on the brink, that's kind of just on its last legs, this is definitely one of those printers. This is definitely the upgrade to it and should be here pretty shortly. And then that light, that light was like a game changer. I didn't think anything about that light, but for some reason that internal light everybody loves. But any more questions coming in?
Yeah, there's one more. Is there a 24-inch version of the 12 color printer? And yes, there is. That's the P7570.
Yes, yes, and that's been around for a few years, and great printer, has all these same technology, just two more colors, pretty much.
Yeah, and I forgot to mention it. So while we're talking about the 7590, 570, again, you all heard me say it multiple times. The chassis is the same, but if you were to see these printers side by side, the main difference besides the name tag is this is a silver color. The 7590, 570 has a black cover. But besides that, it's very hard to see the differences unless you pop open the ink bay here.
Yeah, definitely. Any more questions you see out there? Let me see. I think, oh, there's one coming. Oh, I guess they're talking about consideration of Epson ink, maybe having larger capacity, maybe even bulk. Maybe I think that's
Yeah.
I think that's the question being asked right now.
I'm following it. So the answer is yes, and it really depends on the vertical. So for this platform specifically, a bulk ink system really isn't top of mind because the feedback we've gotten from customers is there's a preference for mid-sized cartridges because again, as a photographic fine art printer, a lot of my colors aren't being utilized, so I don't necessarily want bulk inks because higher capacity, while there's lower running costs in the long run, higher entry costs to stock initially. So for this market necessarily, we're not looking to add bulk inks because it's not demanded too much. But for higher volume users, I talked briefly at the start of fulfillment photography. In our P8570 line, we do have a bulk ink version because the consumption on that is actually lower compared to some of our other products. So low ink consumed, low running costs with bulk ink, 6-color ink set, that makes sense, as well as our P20570, which is a 64-inch printer, 12-color machine, that has a bulk ink system as well, because those users, typically the feedback we've gotten are high production repro houses that are doing large volumes of prints. So the bulk ink systems make sense there.
Awesome. Do you see that, Aaron? The 64,
Yeah, kinda. So our SureColor P20570 is our flagship 64-inch platform, and we just launched it last year. That was our refresh over our SureColor P20000. So a lot of the same improvements that I mentioned here are shared on that platform, but is a different engine. It also features our bulk ink RIP system, which the other attendee just asked about. So there's benefits there. Larger print head, faster speeds, wider color gamut. The same mantra, but it's not apples to apples necessarily, but it's a step up. And that product is active and newer. So there's no refresh going on in the near future for that 64-inch printer because it happened.
Cool. Very cool. Okay, if we don't have any more questions, yeah, hey, Aaron, really appreciate your time going over this new printer. It's definitely very exciting. I know, like I said, we've got a lot of customers have older models that this is something intriguing to them. And you said, just to rehash, I think the launch date is planned for July. Is that correct? Around, yeah. So,
yep.
Okay. So y'all in attendance, if y'all are interested in this printer, definitely call us at Imaging Spectrum and we can go over more questions. We do plan to have this in our demo room at one point once it starts going. So if there's a opportunity for you to come in at our Plano, Texas location to see it in live, we would definitely love to have that chance to show it to you. Even run some sample prints in comparison maybe to your model that you have now. So that is our plan to have that open for y'all to make that comparison. So definitely turn to us for any questions, demo needs, supplies, and even more information about this printer. But that is it for now, unless anyone has any more questions. But if there are any more, just call me. Call us over here. We'll find the answers for you. But we do appreciate Aaron's time today with Epson, going over this new P7370 and P9370. We do appreciate Morgan being here, answering some questions, and of course Jim. Always good to see you. But but like I said, just call us at Imaging Spectrum, visit us on the web. Just let us know what we can do for your inkjet needs, and we'll be happy to serve you.
One last real quick comment is we do have both of these printers on our website now with the basic information that we went over today. So you can swing by our website and take a look, and please don't hesitate to give us a call and if you want to talk deeper about it. And then, as Matt said, as soon as we can get one in here, we'll have it set up for a demo and be ready to have you come touch and feel and see it go.
And to touch on that, we'll probably be taking pre-orders soon. I mean, the way these go, if you, like I said, if your printer's on a brink, you need a new one, you think you really need a new one, hey, let's get in line, get one, because as soon as they launch, they'll be going fast, and it'd be great to get on, top of that list. So just let us know, we'll get you there.